I am Dale Green, Assistant Professor of Architecture and Historic Preservation at the School of Architecture and Planning, and my position with the Hill Small Area Plan was a co-principal investigator. Small Area Plan is a process that is used throughout the various jurisdictions to envision the next 10 years, if you will, of a small area, hence the small area in the plan. And it looks at anything from housing to economic development, to how communities interact, to how the various funding strategies would be brought together over the following years. And so it's a very comprehensive process and designed really to bring about community and civic engagement. The class that I had was a historic preservation course, and our students were involved with the historic resources that are on the Hill. And the historic resources were defined as sites, buildings, and the entire neighborhood that were greater than 50 years old. And so our students surveyed a lot of the historic houses. I think some of them you'll see in the exhibit, and the historic churches and any other historic building types that were in the community. And they also looked at significant historic features such as the water tower that was built in the 1800s in the community and so on. So they were developing plans to safeguard these historic resources. They were also developing plans that would reuse certain historic resources, and then plans to rehabilitate the existing older housing stock that's currently vacant.
My name is Simone Durham. I'm a graduate student at Morgan State University in the sociology department. At the time of the project, I was a senior still in the sociology department at Morgan State University. The class I worked in as part of the project was ethnographic methods with Dr. Howell. We went to Easton, Maryland and worked in a community called The Hill, which will hopefully prove to be the first continuously inhabited free Black neighborhood in the United States. And we conducted surveys in the neighborhood and worked in conjunction with the architecture department to build a small area plan for the community. In addition to our surveys, we also did field notes and did a few interviews and just got a feel for what the community needed.
My name is Angela Howell. I'm an associate professor of anthropology at Morgan State University. And my role in the small area plan was to really bring in the perspective of the locals, the community members. We worked on a transdisciplinary team, which involved lots of different folks: architecture, planning, economic development, landscape architecture. So our role was to really make sure that the voice of the community was being heard. So our goal was, in thinking about the small area plan, how we can really plan meaningful events and activities, strategies that would bring the diverse members of the community together.
My name is Barbara Cook. I'm a first-year graduate student in the sociology department at Morgan State. I did the oral history piece with the Hill Community Project, excuse me. And basically we did various interviews with different people, pillars in the community, people just kind of giving their stories about the history of the Hill, their experience growing up on the Hill and things like that.
Hi, my name is Tanya Nashay Sanders. I'm an assistant professor here at Morgan State University in City and Regional Planning. For the Hill Small Area Plan, my role mainly was to help the planning students to gather data so that we're able to analyze the Hill and really understand what was going on in the Hill so that all of our recommendations were really data-driven. We looked at the housing data, we looked at demographic data, we looked at school data, really, again, trying to understand what was going on, particularly with the demographic shift. So we know that over the last 10, 15 years, there has been a demographic shift on the Hill. So while it's still majority African American, a lot of the Latino population has moved in, and we wanted to account for that and how their experience of the Hill is also.
My name is Paul Voos. I'm chair of the Built Environment Studies Department in the School of Architecture and Planning at Morgan State. And my role in the Hill Small Area Plan was to assist with master planning efforts, to think of big ideas and how to connect them all together. The Hill Small Area Plan consists of somewhat of making districts, and as part of that, it's to identify what are the assets and detriments or challenges to each portion of the community. And using those, we came up with strategies in each area to develop somewhat distinct strategies to implement landscape design master planning process. My favorite thing about the small area plan is the ability to help people connect to other people. And so I really enjoyed the making of paths, redefining streets, and thinking about things differently than they already have it.
This installation is a wonderful collaboration of students and faculty and administrators who really wanted to document what we were able to accomplish as a transdisciplinary team. We have all kinds of really fun architectural materials that are there, salvage materials. We're going to be doing some printing, and we really want to bring this experience to life, a 3D experience that's going to include sights, sounds, some smells, some taste, to really give you a feel of what the Hill community is all about.